Good morning and welcome to today's webinar focusing on the new features contained within Microsoft Dynamics CRM. We're going to dive straight into the software. We're going to look at a few key areas. First one's being Excel integration, then we're going to have a look at the one-click document generation, we're going to have a look at new features in document storage, and also what's new within the Outlook client. But before we do that, one of the questions we get asked on a regular basis is, can I change the look and feel of my Dynamics CRM interface to reflect my corporate branding? And the answer is now yes. I'm just going to show you how. I'm going to dive into the settings section, and in customizations, we have this new area, themes. I'm going to have a look at the default theme to show you what you can change, but you can create as many iterations as you like. In this case, I can now change the logo, I can change the color scheme for the navigation bar, and also across the entire of the user interface, I can change my color scheme to reflect my corporate branding. I'm going to dive back to the main area, and first of all now we're going to have a look at Excel integration. Now within Microsoft Dynamics CRM, you've always had the ability to be able to export information through to Excel. And this has been in different formats. There have been in a static worksheet or a dynamic worksheet or pivot table where the links to the Dynamics CRM data are retained and can be refreshed directly from Excel. But what if I want to be able to create a report that I can send out very easy, one click of a button directly from within? Now, Microsoft have introduced this concept of templates. That covers Excel, but also covers Word, which we're going to have a look at in a minute. In this case, I'm looking at my open opportunities. And within pipeline management, in fact, actually what I'm doing to show this more effectively, I'm going to change this to all opportunities. I'm going to have a look at my Excel template. I'm going to open this in Office 365 Excel Online. And instead of actually having a static or dynamic worksheet, in this case now I've got what is very similar, same as my dashboard that I would expect to see within Dynamics CRM. So I've got my charts, my key performance indicators, but I've also got all the underlying data that goes to make up that information. And what I can also do is I can change the data and the structure within here. I can upload that back into Dynamics CRM. A very cool feature indeed. I'm going to flip back to my CRM area, and in this case I'm going to drill down in particular on one opportunity. It's an opportunity for Dynamics CRM Online, and as you can see, I've got my process in place, I've got my details about my opportunity, I've also got my products that comprise this opportunity. Now normally if I wanted to send out a quote, or if I wanted to send out a summary document, I could have that saved as a report using a function and basically send that information out to whoever it was concerning. In this case, we can use the Word templates to do that at one click. Now I've got a choice. I can have that linked to my Office 365 Word. In this case, it's on my local copy of Office. So if I just drag that onto the screen, as you can see, it is a very simple structure that I've got set up here, but I could brand this how I want. I could add in my logos, I could add in additional information, very much the same as building out a mail merge template. But I've got all the information related to this opportunity and all the details, the product information as well. So this could be a quote, or this could be a document that I'm sending through to my sales manager as a summary of that particular opportunity. We're just going to head back to Dynamics CRM. Now, obviously what we've been talking about there is creating and generating documents within Dynamics CRM at the click of a button, making it easier for any user to interact with the system and be productive. However, what happens to that data? That's a good question. Are we saving that within the Dynamics CRM database? Are we saving that locally on machine? One of the questions we get asked an awful lot is, can I use SharePoint? Now, if you're using Office 365, you'll know that you get SharePoint licenses as part of your Office 365 arrangement. So I'm going to go back to my sales area. I'm going to go look at a list of my accounts. And what Microsoft have done with CRM 2016 have made it so much easier to work with SharePoint. So I'm going to pick one particular account as an example. I'm going to look at M4 Systems here. And now within here, I've got my documents area. And you can see when I look at my documents area, there are a number of documents within here, but they're all in a particular document location that is SharePoint. If I want to view that, I can go and have a look at my SharePoint location. In this case, I've got my documents. I'm within SharePoint here now, so anyone within the organization can view that information. But if I go to my site contents, you'll see the folder structure that Microsoft Dynamics CRM creates automatically based on my integration with SharePoint. Now in this case, if I drill down and look at everything that's within my accounts, you can see within my folder structure, my hierarchy, I've got my accounts, and then underneath that, Dynamics CRM has automatically created a folder for each of my customers. So to show you how that works, so I've got a number of accounts there, but if I pick one in particular, let's go back and look at my list of accounts. And if I click on a Datum Corporation, for example, and I go to documents within here, it goes away and it recognizes, well, there isn't a SharePoint location for a Datum Corporation. Would you like me to create that for you automatically? All I have to do is choose Confirm, and Dynamics CRM goes away and does that work for me. If I go and refresh my SharePoint location, I now have a new folder for a Datum Corporation. And once again, I can upload documents, I can create documents, and they will all be contained in a structured environment. Very cool indeed. Moving on from, because we've been looking at the web interface for Dynamics CRM, let's have a look at some of the new features that have been created within the Outlook environment. So I'm going to flick to, just to prove the point, in this case, I'm going to flip to a completely different browser and using Google Chrome. And I've got my Office 365 Outlook within here. I'm looking at my inbox. Now, I've got this connected up to my Dynamics CRM environment, which we've just been looking at. So for instance, I've got an email here from Stuart White, questions regarding an opportunity. You'll notice within here I have a link that takes me to my Dynamics CRM information. Now I'm just going to untrack this email, so I have the ability to be able to track it again. But as I was doing that, what you'll have noticed is that it's gone away and it's looked who my email was from, in this case Stuart White, and it's kind of interrogated my CRM database to see if there are any cases, opportunities, activities that are related to Stuart. If I choose to now track this email, you notice within here I can do that without setting up a record regarding it, so it would just track this email linked to the contact record that is Stuart White, or I can choose to create a new account, contact, lead, opportunity, or case. What I can also do is I can link this to a current, in this case, opportunity. So I'm looking at my Microsoft Dynamics opportunity, which is the one that we looked at earlier, and I can choose to track this email directly within there. So very quick, very fluid way of integrating my Outlook client to my CRM database. But what happens if that contact doesn't exist? Well, I've got one above here, Craig Dickinson. If I do exactly the same and click on my Dynamics CRM link, in this case, what it's going to do is go away, interrogate my CRM database, and it's going to find that Craig actually doesn't exist. So what do we do about that? Now, obviously, the ideal is that we're able to create that contact very, very easily. And particularly then if we think that we're using this maybe on a mobile phone, or we're using this on a tablet. So we have our email. So if we're using this, for instance, on a mobile phone, I've got my track, which I can press with my finger, and I've got my create new contact. One button, create. So if I click create contact, it pulls the information automatically from the email, so I don't have to type that in. I can then add in any additional information that I want. If I'm happy to do that and say I'll update that later when I'm back online within my web client of CRM, I just click save and it's gone away and created that contact record. If I go back to my Dynamics CRM area and look at my contacts, there's my new contact, Craig Dickinson. So as you can see, this latest release of Dynamics CRM is all around making your interaction with CRM quicker, easier, more professional, and also your interaction with people outside of CRM. The ability to be able to communicate, whether that's via Excel, whether that's via Word, automatically, with, in effect, a click of a button. Thank you for listening. For our next one, we're going to look at some of the extended, enhanced third-party features for Dynamics CRM.